Good grief. Why do they never go in for me?
Hi everyone, and welcome to the very first vinyl Wodge of 2020. I've already recorded one video, I think 7 Inches of Joy, I think I've done already. And of course I did the vinyl tag. But this is the first albums video. So this is a batch of records. Some I bought slightly before Christmas, some I've had since Christmas. So we got a mixed up bunch, usual eclectic stuff. But going to start off with some brand new vinyl. Yes, indeedy. Doesn't happen that much on this channel. But I saw some things that were good price on eBay, so I thought, right, I'm gonna get a couple of things. So the first one, I'm stoked about, absolutely stoked that I got this. So I've got a copy of Complete Columbia, which is Big Star's live album recorded in '93 at Missouri University, or the University of Missouri, I'm not quite sure which one it is. So this originally came out, and I think it was only on CD, because I had the CD at the time, bought it at the time. This came out in '93, maybe '94, I'm not sure. But I've loved it, absolutely loved this album ever since I got the CD. And I reckon it is probably my favourite live album. So to actually have it on vinyl is just a joy. You've got a story behind it, behind the album. Basically this album only came together because two students at the university asked Jody Stevens, the drummer, if they could put on Big Star at the uni. And so Jody Stevens said to them, well, go and ask Alex Chilton. And he said yes. So, and then to fill up the spaces left by Andy Hummel didn't want to join in, and of course Chris Bell died in a car crash in '78. So to fill them up, they got Ken Stringfellow and John Auer, I think it is, from the Posies, who were a brilliant power pop band from the '90s, late '80s, early '90s, back then, to fill in. And this is a joy, absolute joy, this album. I love the feel of it. It's just so loose. Obviously, they'd had some rehearsal a little bit, but it's just a fabulous feel to this record. So many classic songs on here. Auer and Stringfellow both have vocal turns. They do I'm the Cosmos, which one of those two sings, and I can't remember exactly which one it is. Back of a Car and Daisy Glaze, so they did a couple of them. And then, so there are one extra track. How many extra tracks are there? So there's a rap between songs, and then you've got basically the rest of the encore, which is a whole slew of covers that Alex Chilton obviously felt like playing on the day. So you've got covers of Kansas City, To the End of the Day by the Kinks, and Duke of Earl, and they're all excellent additions. You've also got 13 and Oh My Soul, which were unreleased on the original CD. So this is absolutely gorgeous, absolutely so happy to have a copy of this. So it's on, there's a label. So yeah, fabulous record. My favourite live album, I have to say it. It is my favourite. Brilliant stuff, absolutely brilliant. I also picked up off eBay this record. Now, it's quite a whoa cover, so this is Plunge by Fever Ray. So this is her second album, following up 10 years after, was it 9 years, 9 years after the first debut album that she recorded under the name, Karen Dreyer recorded under the name of Fever Ray. That is one of my favourite albums. It is just a magical listen. I've heard it so often. I don't know this anywhere near as well. I have listened to it before, but I reckoned it was one of those records that you really need to listen all the way through, and I have to admit, I haven't really given it justice, to be honest. I've listened to it a couple of times since I got it, and there's so... I didn't connect with it as much, purely because I thought it was quite different from Fever Ray, the debut, but it actually isn't. When you listen to it carefully, there's a continuation of the sound. Yeah, there's more in-your-face and up-tempo tracks, and the lyrics are fairly different, but you still got that same sense of alienation and otherworldliness off the record. It's a great package. You've got great innocence. I love that. There's a label, got that on that side, and then this is from one of the characters she plays in one of the videos. I think it's on To the Moon and Back, which is quite an extreme video. And you also get the lyric sheet. Whoops. There's the lyrics, which actually does double. Oh, yeah, I'm going to make an absolute pig's ear of this. Doubles as a poster. I can't really do this justice, but it is quite a lovely poster. Absolutely stoked to have this one as well. And I'm going to take my time with this and just luxuriate in it and really get to know it properly. So there you go, Fever Ray and Plunge. Right, I was out and about yesterday, and I actually picked up a couple of records yesterday. I picked up this, which was a bit of a find. So this is a Beautiful South's second album, Choke. This one had the... was it a UK #1, A Little Time? I'm pretty sure it was. But this is a really good listen. I have dismissed Beautiful South in the past for being a bit clever, but this is a great listen. I've only heard it once, but it sounds really good, and Little Time is just such a classic single. Really, really clever lyric, really, really clever song. So I'm going to look forward to listening to that more. Dead chuffed I got that for £1. And for 50p, I've been looking for a compilation by this chap for a long time, especially one in a good nick, and I've got finally picked up for 50p a double album of Bill Haley. So here we've got, this is on Pickwick, but what's different about this one, usually they try and bundle as many songs as they can into, so the grooves are really tightly packed. So the sound quality is crap, but on here you've got a maximum of 6 tracks per side, so it's actually a decent, really good sounding record actually. What you've got is, you've got one album of like the rock and roll stuff from the 50s, things like Rock Around the Clock, Rock the Joint, See You Later Alligator, Shake, Rattle and Roll. And then on the other one, you've got later recordings made, I reckon, probably late 60s, maybe even early 70s, where there's a slightly more country rock feel to his stuff. It's slightly less straight on rock and roll. So you've got covers of games people play, you've got Boney Maroney, you've got a couple of Creedence covers. You've got Who'll Stop the Rain and Travelling Band. He does a cover of Me and Bobby McGee. Don't know the other ones necessarily. But yeah, absolutely chuffed to pick up a decent condition compilation from Bill Haley with a lot of his early rock and roll sides and some really good, actually the covers, the later 60s stuff, 70s stuff is actually not bad. Definitely be listening to that again. Right, going from early rock and roll to 70s disco or early 80s disco, I did pick up this. This is quite an interesting, quite a good listen. So this is Shalamon's Greatest Hits. I think this is a German album, so it's hits that were big over in Germany. It's decent disco. I like a good disco album. Not any that really I know really well, But yeah, I thought it was great. And look at those outfits, fabulous. Right, I also picked up this at the same time, and this was a So-So album. So this is Hot Chocolate's Class. This is okay. There weren't any big hits on this. None of their big hits. I guess what's most interesting about this, I think this was released in 1980. Yeah, 1980. What's most interesting about this, it's got a cover of Green Shirt by Elvis Costello, which was on Armed Forces, which I love. And it's got a cover of Walking on the Moon. Sounds really different actually, but it's not, maybe doesn't work. No, definitely doesn't work as well as Bleed's original. Best song on here is probably Children of Spacemen, which is a bit of a kind of a pop rock prog epic. I don't know, it's a bit probably upping that too much, but it's an interesting song. So yeah, so that was all right. So that's Hot Chocolate's Class. Not bad, not bad, not great, not bad. I also picked up a copy of this. Now I've never even heard of this movie. Absolutely no idea. But the list of artists on it is actually pretty good. So this is a soundtrack to the film The Burglar, starring Whoopi Goldberg. I've no idea what this film is about. I've read reviews online and this looks fairly ropey. But the people on the record, it was overseen by Bernie Edwards from Chic, and it's got Sly Stones on here, Belinda Carlisle, Smithereens, which is a good song, Wax, which is not bad, the Jacksons, which is okay. We've got Bernard Edwards doing a couple, I think there's an instrumental, the Bell Stars are on here. It's actually a really good soundtrack. It's a sort of record you don't have to pay a lot of attention to. So while I've been cleaning other records, I've had this on in the background and I've really enjoyed listening to it. It's got such an 80s feel to it. Like the dance tracks are really 80s. The rock tracks have got that big booming production that you get from the 80s. But it's actually a pretty good listen. So I was really happy to pick that one up. Just on the off chance that it'd be listenable. So that was pretty good. And I'll just round off with a couple more compilations that I picked up. 80s, of course. So I've got this one. So I've got Out Now, 28 Hot Hits. This just shows up what a mixed batch of music got into the charts in the 80s. Because you've got things like Tears for Fears, Glenn Frey, The Heat Is On, Kool and the Gang, Fresh, which I actually hate, Love Is a Battlefield, you've got Go West, Nick Kershaw, Sharp and Newman with Change Your Mind, which is really good, Thompson Twins, The Damned, Grimly Fiendish, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, which I don't think was a top 40 hit, don't know what that's doing on here, Godley and Cream doing Cry, got Billy Bragg, Between the Wars, Killing Joke, Love Like Blood, Kane Gang doing Gun Law, even though that wasn't a top 40 hit either, so obviously scraping the barrel a bit of what they could include. Colourfield, Thinking of You, Paul Hardcastle's 19 is on here as well. It's actually a really good representation of music as it was in, I think, 85 these came out. Yeah, Everybody Wants to Rule the World was 85. And there's a load of the covers, singles covers. So that's a great compilation. Bung that on. And got another Deep Heat album, Third Degree. So I think this is 89. So it's got some tracks. I showed another Deep Heat album a few videos ago. And I think it's got some shared tracks, like Voodoo Ray's on here again. I think Me, Myself and I was on the other one as well. But it's really good. You got lots, I mean, I don't know a lot of these. You got Kevin Saunderson out, track, Rhythm is Rhythm, some of the other, you got Rob Bass and DJ Easy Rock. Don't know an awful lot of these names, apart from the obvious ones, but it's actually a really good listen. Inner City's on here. Double Trouble in the and the Rebel MC would just keep rocking the house mix. And you got Capella with Helium Halib, which is actually a really good track. So that's a good one. Definitely worth keeping. There's the inner side of the gatefold. I haven't shown many labels with this lot, but oh well. Forgot, to be honest. Yeah, it's not worth showing that one. So yeah, on Telstar Records, that splendid cheapy vinyl label from the 80s. So there we go. Yet another batch of stuff that is just random stuff I pick up. I've enjoyed listening to every single one of them. And thanks for watching and sticking to the end if you have done. So I'll be back again soon with various videos that I've got planned. Hopefully I'm going to keep this up and try and keep up at least a video a week. We'll see. Thanks to anybody who has subscribed to me recently. Absolutely love the fact that you think these videos are interesting enough to actually subscribe to the channel. It's brilliant. So anyway, thanks everyone, and I'll see you all again soon. Cheers everyone. Bye.